Hi friends, it's me, Teacher Ulrich here. Welcome to a brand new lesson from Wordly Wise Book 5. Today, you and I will start with lesson 14. The first class for this lesson will be about word list 14. So in day 1, we'll look at the words and we'll talk about their different meanings. Remember that most words have more than one meaning. Also remember that not all the meanings given in this word list are all the meanings available for these words. So these words, some of them have more meanings than what are shown. Let's begin from the top of lesson 14's word list. The first word we can see here. It's access. Access. Now, access is the name, the noun. Access is the name of freedom or permission to enter. The students want access to the gym this summer. Access is also the name of a way of approach or entry. The only access to the harbor is this channel. So it's the way you go in, access. Accessible is a different form of the word. We use the word accessible to describe something which is able to be used or entered. Something that is accessible is something that you can use or you can enter it. Franklin's restaurant is accessible to people in wheelchairs. So people in wheelchairs can use that restaurant. This is an access card. For some things you need a card to enter. Say you join the gym or the library, you get an access card. With that, you can have access to use that place. The next word is associate. 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 Now, associate has two verb meanings. First, to associate is to bring together in the mind. Many people associate Florida with oranges because there are lots of oranges in Florida. To associate is also to come or be together as friends or companions. To come together as friends. Because of her love of racehorses, Anne often associated with others who shared that love, jockeys and trainers. So she was together with people of that same interest. She associated with those people. Associate is also a noun meaning. So this we pronounce different. Associate. Associate. So these two verbs are associate. The noun is associate. Associate is the name of a person with whom one is connected in some way, as in business. So business associate is someone you do business with. My father discussed the project with his associate at work. Someone you do business with, an associate. People often associate South Africa, the country where I live, with these animals, the big five, the leopard, the rhino, the buffalo, the elephant, and the lion. They associate them together. What do people associate your country with? If you're from China, I'm sure people associate your country with silk, with technology, with dumplings, interesting food. The next word is boisterous. 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 Boisterous is a word we use to describe something that is noisy and uncontrolled. Like behavior can be described as boisterous. The Dixons' party became so boisterous that their neighbors complained. So a party can become very boisterous. See? It's very noisy and uncontrolled. The next word is brilliant. We use the word brilliant to describe two different things. First, we use brilliant to describe something which is very bright, sparkling. My black leather shoes had a brilliant shine. See? These shoes have a brilliant shine. These are brilliantly shiny shoes. We also use brilliant to describe someone who is very clever or smart. Nikola Tesla was a brilliant inventor. My oldest sister is so brilliant she might finish high school in 3 years. Brilliant. The next word is decade. Decade is the name of a 10-year period. So every 10 years is a decade. I have hope that the next decade will be better than the last. So this year is 2020. Maybe not when you watch this, but now it's 2020. So we have started a new decade from 2020 to 2030. That's a decade. Next, it's delicate. Delicate. We use the word delicate to describe 3 different things. First, we use delicate to describe something which is easily broken or damaged. If something can be easily broken or damaged, it's delicate, like a delicate flower. We always wash this delicate antique plate by hand, so a plate can be delicate, can easily break. We also use the word delicate to describe something which needs care and skill. Convincing small children to share a toy can be a delicate task. Also, to be a brain surgeon like this doctor, that is very delicate work. You need lots of care and skill. Delicate we also use to describe someone in poor health or someone who is weak. Although Isabella Bird Bishop was a delicate child, as an adult she traveled through many different parts of the world, sometimes by canoe and other times on horseback. So she was a very delicate child, but as an adult she is not delicate. So that means she was in poor health or she was weak when she was a child. The next word is employ. Employ has 2 verb meanings. First, to employ is to hire and put to work for pay. If you employ someone, you pay them to do a certain work. If someone employs you, they pay you to do work. Carmen's gift shop employs 4 people. To employ is also to use. You can employ an idea or a strategy. The clown employed every trick he knew to make the children laugh. So he used every trick he knew. He employed it. So to use is a synonym for employ. Have you ever been employed? Have you ever had a job? It's fun. If you do not have a job, you are unemployed. Okay? Unemployed. Then you do not have a job. The next word is idle. Now we use the word idle to describe doing nothing, not working. The workers were idle when the power was shut off. See, the worker is idle. He's doing nothing. He's an idle worker. Idle also has two verb meanings. To idle is to spend one's time doing nothing. Last Sunday, while my brother idled for more than an hour in the house, I raked leaves in the yard. Do you like to idle? Spend your time doing nothing? To idle is also to run an engine slowly. So if you idle your car, you just start it and you sit there. I'll idle it. Sometimes you'll hear someone say, idle the car if you want to keep the aircon on, otherwise it will kill the battery. So you idle the car. Just sit with the car's turned on, with the engine turned on. Let the car idle for a few minutes so that the engine can warm up. The next word is illuminate. Illuminate. To illuminate something is to light it up, to supply with light. The full moon illuminated the path through the woods to our cabin. It lit it up. To illuminate is also to make clear or understandable. Let me illuminate my plans. First, we'll do this. Next, we'll do that. Then we'll do this. So I illuminate my plans. I make it clear or understandable. The teacher's explanation illuminated the math problem for me. Hopefully my explanation of these words illuminate their understanding for you. Next, it is provide. Provide. To provide is to give what is needed, to supply. 2 local companies provided the money to buy our school band uniforms. The United Nations provide food to many poor countries. To provide is also to set forth as a condition. Our agreement with the teacher provides for a party if we turn our work in on time all year. So it's to set forth a condition. The next word is require. Require. Now, to require is to need or demand. Plants require light and water in order to grow. Right? Plants require light and water. They need it. They demand it. Without light and water, they will die. Requirement is a different form of the word with a noun meaning. A requirement is the name of something that is necessary. Light and water is a requirement for plants to grow. A place to sleep and a simple meal were Johnny Appleseed's only requirements. Requirement. To drive a car, you require a driver's license. You require a license. A license is required to drive a car. The next word is taunt. To taunt is to make fun of in an insulting way. To jeer, mock. Those are synonyms for taunt. Don't taunt someone just because that person appears different. Taunt is the name of an insulting remark, right? She gave me a taunt. An umpire learns to ignore the taunts of the crowd and just get on with the job. Ignore the taunts. So if someone taunts you, don't take their taunts seriously. The next word is tolerant. Tolerant. Now, to be tolerant. Tolerant describes the willing to let others have their own beliefs and ways. If you are tolerant, you can be described as willing to let others have their own beliefs and ways. Even if different from one's own, you should be tolerant to other people. Traveling is both interesting and enjoyable if you are tolerant of customs that seem strange to you. Tolerant. Are you tolerant of other people? There are so many other kinds of people with other religions. You should be tolerant of other people if you want them to be tolerant of you. Tolerate is a different form of the word. To tolerate is to accept willingly and without complaining. You learn to tolerate a certain amount of noise when you live near an airport. So you learn to accept it. If you live near an airport, you will have to tolerate the noise of the airplanes. Tolerate. Next, it is transform. Transform. To transform is to change the form, looks, or nature of. A fresh coat of paint will transform this room. A caterpillar transforms into a pupa or a cocoon, and then it transforms into a butterfly. Transformation is the name of a complete change. So a butterfly goes through this transformation. This is the transformation of a butterfly. It's complete change. The transformation of the frog into a prince comes at the end of the story. Complete change. Great. Now it is wilderness. Wilderness is the name of an area where there are few people living. An area still in its natural state. Wilderness. So an area with few people living there and not lots of man-made thing. It's still in its natural state. The Rocky Mountain states contain large areas of wilderness. Sometimes it's really nice to go into the wilderness, to escape from the city life, right? Great, friends, and that is it. So today we've looked at all these words and we discussed their different meanings. We didn't skip any. Great. Friends, this is the end of today's class. Thanks for joining and good job. Remember to practice these meanings on your own. Next, you can join me in day 2 for our second class of this lesson. In day 2, bring along the word list as well as activity 14a. We'll do that activity in class 2, day 2. Friends, take care and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.